In today's video, I'm going to be telling you how to get your first 500 subscribers, but you know what? I'm definitely not going to just stop at that. Sure, of course, getting your first 500 subscribers is a really big deal, but I would be doing a disservice to you as a fellow creator if I just gave you some generic growth strategy things that you've heard a million times before. So I'm going to give you some tips to get to 500 subscribers, but I'm also going to be setting you up with the infrastructure to be able to get to not only monetization, but much further beyond. This first one's going to turn a couple of heads, but I want you to focus on something for me. I want you to focus on uploading the content that you want. Seriously. Now, I did a video recently covering two creators that have done this exceptionally well, and now they both get millions of views every single day. The main idea that I talked about in this video was these two creators have a specific channel focus, and this has allowed them to make whatever videos that they want. Meaning that sure, you can pick a niche, but the one thing you want to do is you want to look within that niche, figure out some video ideas that you want to focus on, and then actually focus on those. Let's use my content niche as an example, which is all about YouTube growth tips and strategies. The main types of videos you'll see in this niche are all things like how to hack the algorithm, how to maximize your SEO, how to read your analytics properly, yada yada yada. But for me, I realized that type of content wasn't sustainable and it wasn't something I was ultimately going to be happy just covering on its own. I wanted to take another look and figure out what types of videos people actually need. And that's how I figured out that there was a need for people that want to teach exactly how to do more of the technical stuff when creating YouTube content. Stuff like creating better thumbnails, different strategies on how to plan, edit, and film your YouTube videos, breaking down other creators and figuring out exactly how you can apply what they do to your content. Just a lot of different things along those lines. For me personally, this just opened a floodgate of just different ideas that I could do for my YouTube channel now. And the best part is I could just sprinkle on top some things about how to get more views, how to get more subscribers, but the main thing is I could just do it in my own way. Once you figured out what your channel focus is, the next thing you want to do is make sure that your content all ties together. If you don't understand how the YouTube algorithm works, basically the goal of the YouTube algorithm is to push creators who keep viewers on the platform for as long as possible. So that means for you to grow, you're going to have to actually be the person that does that. How you do that is by making videos around the same topics over and over and over again. So that way, when one of your videos or several of your videos start getting pushed by YouTube hard, new subscribers or even new viewers to your channel will see that you have similar videos to the ones that they like, and they'll want to keep watching more. One example being is that all of my thumbnail videos actually tie in together. If you need general advice on thumbnails, I have several videos on that. If you need something that gives you some advice but also shows you some new things, I actually have some videos on that. Or if you need just a thumbnail tutorial that breaks down exactly how to create a thumbnail from the ground up, guess what? I have several videos on that as well. YouTube actually talks about this all the time on their Creators Insiders channel, and I actually have a video breaking down exactly what they say about the YouTube algorithm, and one of the main things they talk about is this particular strategy. The next thing is you need to understand SEO, but you need to make sure you understand how to do it correctly. So when it comes to SEO, you hear all these different things, like you need to be using TubeBuddy or vidIQ to research your titles, tags, and topics. You need to make sure that you're filling out your description box with plenty of keywords and phrases. All these things are true, and I've talked about this stuff many times on my channel, but there's one amendment I want to make. You want to title your videos for people first, and then you want to actually use your description to maximize your SEO. Let me explain. The YouTube algorithm actually analyzes any text for keywords within your video. From captions to titles to descriptions, it's looking for anything that it can use to make sure your video is going into the right place. Tags, however, are completely irrelevant. You can actually see right here because YouTube has said it multiple times themselves. Out of those three I just talked about, your video descriptions as well as your closed captions are what will give YouTube the most information for SEO about your video, so that way it can be distributed better. Your titles are actually what is used to give people the most information about your video, so that way they can decide if they want to click on it. So when you're wanting to maximize your video for SEO, I suggest that you do this instead. Number one, you want to fill out your description box with as many organic keywords and phrases that match the video topic that you chose. The second thing you want to do is you want to say your keyword and phrase as much as possible in the video where it makes sense. The third thing is you want to make sure you're using keywords and phrases in your titles, but the more important thing is that you're designing your titles to get an emotional response from people, just like your thumbnail. This next one is actually going to be a little weird, but you need to satisfy the viewer. Once again, straight from the horse's mouth, YouTube's #1 priority is to give viewers the most satisfactory experience possible. One of the biggest ways that you can do that is by making sure that the viewer feels like they made the right choice by clicking your video. So how does YouTube actually determine if somebody had a satisfactory experience? Number one, they conduct surveys and various things to get people's feelings on how they enjoyed the channel or a video. Number two, something else they focus on is something called session time. Is your video or videos the start of someone spending a lot of time on YouTube? If so, the the algorithm is going to reward you. Number 3 is pretty common sense, but how are people responding to your video? Are they clicking on your video? Are they watching it for a long time? Are they commenting, liking, or disliking? The big picture point is that you need to be thinking about these things. When you're planning, filming, and editing your videos, everything that you do should be the interest of making people as satisfied as possible, so that way that you can be the start of people staying on YouTube for a long time, so that way you can grow even faster. The next thing is you need to really understand what your analytics are telling you. Look, I'm the first to admit that I check my analytics way too much. I'm constantly on my phone checking YouTube Studios to see if there's any change in my video. My point is that my obsession with looking at my analytics too much has actually helped me make better analytical decisions when I'm creating my videos. So what does that mean? In my humble opinion, I don't believe that the numbers lie. They don't tell the full story, but they also give you everything that you're gonna need. Let's forget about subscribers and views and focus in on these 3 analytics that are more important: CTR, watch time, and returning viewers. So the first one is returning viewers, which is arguably becoming the #1 analytic that I care about the most. Returning viewers are people that have watched your videos more than one time. Whether they're subscribed or not subscribed, it really doesn't matter. And new viewers are obviously new people watching your videos for the first time. The reason why returning viewers is so important is because let's say you release a video and you take a look at your returning viewers and you realize compared to your other videos, the number is actually down. This number being down can mean a bunch of different things. This could mean that people just haven't gotten to the video yet and they'll watch it over the next few days. Or if this video's been out for a while and the numbers are down, you can clearly see that maybe this is not a very good video topic for your channel. Now, in the complete reverse of this, if you happen to see the returning viewers number spike up, you probably want to make another video around that topic as soon as possible. Now look, this is not perfect and hasn't always worked on my channel. You can actually look at the majority of my shorts videos. Not all of them have a ton of views, even though some of them actually do. But the more important thing is that you want to make sure that you're keeping track of this number, because you want to understand why people came back to watch that particular video, so that way you can replicate it over and over again. Now, what about CTR and watch time? Well, that's actually going to be one of the next videos on this channel, where we're going to be doing a deep dive into the analytics, more specifically talking about watch time, CTR, returning viewers again, and quite a few different things. But in the meantime, you're going to see some other videos on screen that are going to help you learn more of the technical stuff when it comes to making YouTube videos. Anyways, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.